Hey there. Let's talk about creating work boundaries. Okay, so to start, a boundary is for you. It is not an ultimatum. It is not trying to control what someone else is doing. It's telling someone else, hey, here are my expectations. Here is what I require. Here is the tape in my box, my boundaries. And if you don't respect them, if you go across them, then here's what I'm going to do. So keep that in mind as you're setting boundaries. It's about what you're going to do in that situation. Now, how do you create these boundaries? The first step is to determine what that boundary is. And in this scenario, while you can apply these steps to any area of your life, I'm talking about it from a work perspective because we need to create more boundaries. It's out of control and it's incumbent upon you, especially if you want to lead, to put some boundaries and some guardrails in place to set expectations and then hold to them. So, first, what are those boundaries for you? Right? And you want to set those boundaries in advance so that you can communicate them to whoever might need to hear them first. Right? So, you don't want to set boundaries or determine your boundaries and then don't tell anybody and then get upset when they don't respect them. Not all boundaries need to be communicated, but if you're expecting someone to not call you after 9 o'clock, or if you're expecting your boss not to expect you to work after certain hours, but they keep asking you to, you've got to set that boundary with that person. So determining your boundaries and setting them in advance. This includes working late, communications, etc. This also includes determining what you will do if they don't respect them, because chances are they're not going to respect them because people will say okay and then they will do what they do because that's what they're in the habit of doing. So you're going to, in step two, communicate those boundaries as needed, both up front and then as needed going forward. And then step three, when it comes to creating work boundaries, be prepared for people to be upset and to break them. Your boss, especially, right? Your boss is going to say, okay, and then they're going to give you things. Now, it could be that they don't care, but it could be that they don't expect you to do it right when they give it to you. They're just trying to move it from their plate to your plate, right? So if your boss is sending you emails at 6, 7 o'clock, it doesn't mean that you have to stop what you're doing if you have communicated your boundary. It could just mean that they're trying to move it, and that's the time that they have time to work. And for a lot of bosses, they're doing so much in so many meetings and things during the day, helping their team during the day, that the time where they actually do their work is in the evenings. It doesn't mean that you have to stop what you're doing, especially if you've set a boundary, to respond to them, to work on something for them, right? But you want to be clear about that with your boundaries and your communication in advance so that you guys stay on the same page, right? So that's what you want to do. And then a tip is use the community or group or group coaching to be supported through this process. And the reason you want to do that is because people are going to break the boundary and you are going to be upset. And I want you to expect them to break the boundary. And I want you to decide how many times can they break the boundary before it's a problem. Is it a 3 strikes and you're out? Like I've communicated it once, twice, or 3 times, or you can continue to break it and I'm going to do what I'm going to do, which is likely to ignore you or whatever I said my protocol was for this particular boundary.